Today we're going to be talking about virtual tables. If you're not familiar with virtual tables, they are a way to natively connect to external tables in Dataverse. So let's get started. To do this, first we're going to go to our solution that we created in prior tutorials. And then we're going to go to New, Tables, and then Table from External Data. Okay. So in here, what we're going to do is you can either connect to SharePoint or you connect to SQL Server. Today, we are going to connect to SQL Server. And if you have a prior connection, then you can use that. So we're going to use a prior connection. So we're going to go here, select that, and do next. And now there's the tables that are in your database. So it has to be a table object within the database. It cannot be a view or a stored procedure. So I have a table of SEC filings. So we're going to click here and do next. Okay. Now there are some requirements in order to get this to work. One is that you need to have an external primary key, and it has to be a GUID within your database. So So first you need to set up your database in a way that allows you to connect. It'll throw an error if you don't do that. So right here, so we're gonna do, instead of display name, we're gonna do filings there. SEC space filings. Okay, that's gonna be the plural name. So this is kind of the schema that is set up. So this is the schema name. This is the primary field. So in this case, it's going to be the company name. Okay, and then we're going to do next. We can rename things. We can change the schema name in here. Rename things. These automatically come in from the database. As you can see, it's the same. So if we wanted to do that, we can do that. We can do this form type, date filed, file name. Okay. Do next. Now we're going to do finished. Now it's creating the virtual table for you. All right. So what you'll see here in a moment is the data from SQL Server. Here's the columns right here. And there are some restrictions on virtual tables. One is the ownership of the record. It's an organizationally owned record. So you can't do user specific or team specific security on external tables. What that means is essentially anyone can edit or manipulate the data in here. These are really great for viewing data within like read-only data. So like if you wanted to go, let's go to overview, and I'll show you. If we go to overview and then we go to the app that we made earlier, and we launch the app, go in the preview. So we got SEC filings already in here. Go into here, SC filings, and here we go. So here's the company data. We can go into and play this. Go to filings. We can go into a specific one. Here's PIMCO. If we were to if we were to go in here and copy this out and go to it, we'd be going direct to the filing. Okay. So you notice the GUID down here. This is exactly the same as in the database, and we can confirm that by going to the database. So here's the database. Here's an example of the table that we used earlier. This is the actual code used to generate it. One of the things you need to do is make sure that you have a unique identifier, and then also that the primary key, that you create a primary key, which is right here. Okay. Now if we go into here and we do a select all, here's the data, here's the PIMCO record that we looked at earlier. Okay. It is really key that you have this unique identifier. I can't stress that enough. The system will fail if you don't have this unique ID. So we're back in the model-driven app, and what I wanted to show you was that virtual tables have full CRUD capabilities. So here's the PIMCO funds record that we were looking at earlier. If we were to change this to let's say a 9, do this and save and close. It's saved it back to the database. Go back into PIMCO funds. Here's the record. And now if we go back into the SQL database, it should be the 29th for the date filed. So let's check that out. So here, if we do a select all, 1000 from there, where company name, like, and then PIMCO. And then we execute that. Here's the record that we just changed. All right. Now we're back in the app. All right. So some of the limitations. 1, you have to have the same data types in Dataverse and in the database. So Dataverse will only support certain data types. What is not supported are file types and image types of data types. It supports whole numbers, floats, text, long text, etc. So wide range of support. The only thing that it doesn't support really is the file attachments and kind of images. All right, it's a really powerful feature. This feature used to be a whole lot harder to implement. It's still, if you were to connect, let's say to natively to another API, you still would have to create a data provider and a virtual table. Right now, it currently only supports SharePoint and SQL Server. So in the future, they plan on supporting many other data types or data sources. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.